Arsenal, are they in a downturn right now? They're winless in their last three, and it seems like they're coming back down to earth a little bit, possibly. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are that yeah, they're having a bit of a wobble at the moment, but I think that's normal during the season. Arsenal haven't fluked the way they've played and all the wins that have established them at the top of the league. So I don't think there's a major concern as long as they don't panic, as long as they stay calm about it. They've got to get through the next week with a couple of tricky fixtures coming up. If they can do that, keep calm. They've lost 2 games all season so far. And I think when you normally win a championship, you lose anywhere from 3 to 5 to 6, somewhere in that region. They've lost a couple right now, so it's not all falling apart. They've had a wobble, but they're still a great team. As long as they can kind of gather themselves, keep the team spirit going, I think they'll be fine and back on track.
Yeah, I think that this is a wobble, but does it take more than a wobble for someone like Man City to get back into this thing, right? I mentioned this before. Pep Guardiola, Manchester City, they are our horror movie villain. They are Michael Myers. Until I see the credits rolling on Rebecca Lowe locally here in the U.S., our post-game show, when I see Arsenal hoist the cup, I will believe that Manchester City is going to hoist that cup just because that's what they are. They're that kind of villain. But there's what I will say that I think there are problems there. And one of the biggest problems is that they're dealing with injuries. I think that they aren't a team, if you look at their spending versus Chelsea spending versus City spending versus United, Liverpool, they're spending even less than Tottenham right now. And a lot of that's because the players are young. But what that means is they don't have a ton of depth. Now, I know during this transfer window, they went to address that, bringing in Trossard and a few people like that. But I do wonder if they deal with injuries down the stretch. And we've talked about maybe that World Cup break leading to injuries because of a compressed schedule. Also, maybe I have a little bit of a concern with overuse issues and things like that because of a compressed schedule. I'd wonder if they can survive. But right now, their issue is they're not scoring a lot of goals. And if 4 goals, 2 goals, 3 goals, they were beating I think they went 3 out of 4 where they had 2 goals or more. And then in the last 3, they've had 1 goal or none. So Nketiah has not given them enough. They need Jesus to be able to come back. And if he comes back, that's fine. If Smith Rowe comes back, they'll be fine. But they're a team that I think either Trossard is going to have to fit into that front line really, really well and continue what he was doing at Brighton. Or I think that Arsenal's going to have Jesus in for Nketiah because Nketiah just doesn't seem to be the answer at the striker position.
Yeah, I agree. You're right. First of all, Man City they're not going away. So they're going to be there, like you say, right to the end. It all depends on if Arsenal drop off, how quickly they drop away. And I think they can push City all the way. I still think City are going to win it, but I think Arsenal are going to be there. They've got to get over this wobble. The biggest thing, or another big thing, as well as their injuries and the depth of the squad, is their experience. They haven't been in this situation before. Not most of them anyway. A couple of them have that they got from City. Jesus. When he comes back, that'll be fantastic for them as well. And Nketiah was overperforming, overachieving. Trossard, you're right, he came in and he chipped in with a goal at the weekend. So it's not all doom and gloom for Arsenal. It's a bit of a wobble. Can they stay injury free? Can they keep the noses in front of City? I mean, I think that's the psychological one. I think that's if they can stay ahead or hang on to City's coattails, push them all the way. City aren't going away. I think Arsenal can hang in there.
Well, so I do wonder about this as well, because we talked about this last week, Chris. You brought up a really good point about the fact that they're the traditional number 9. If you look, you see Haaland's at the top, Kane as far as the top goal scorers in the EPL. Mitrovic is there, and then you see a lot of midfielders. And I just wonder with these guys is Odegaard going to finish with 16 goals this year? Is Saka going to finish with 15 goals this year? And can you get both? And can they win the Premier League if they don't get both of those things happening? Trossard, you mentioned that, I mean, he was sitting on, I think, 7 or 8 goals when he left Brighton for Arsenal. So is he going to finish with 15? Are you really going to have 3 guys that finish with 15 goals because you don't have a legitimate striker? Do you count on Jesus to be able to stay healthy? Because that's something that he's struggled with throughout the last few years of his career. Or does the light switch come on for Nketiah? My question for them is goals. Where do they come from? And the places that they have been coming from August through December, can we count on those guys to be able to score at the same rate during this last 3 or 4 months of the season? That's a big question that I have.
Yeah, it's a good question too. And I think They have been shared around. They've had to do without Jesus. I'm not sure how far out he is from getting back. The sooner he can come back, the better, obviously. But they've got the quality there to share it around. Odegaard, what a great player he is. He's one of my favourite players in the league right now. He just creates and scores himself, and he's taking the captain's armband, and he's really a driving force in that team. Saka, of course, chipping in as well, and Ketia. So there's games, Trossard now. There's goals all through the team, all around the team, really, and they could definitely do with a backup number 9, but so could 3/4 of this league, quite frankly.